How's it going, guys? VenomousFatman here again. I'm here on the bit, the boys in the tube. I'm sitting down with Raychul Moore, and before we talked about her origins, we talked about cosplay and the kind of philosophies and stuff about cosplay and conventions. Now let's get into some video games. Let's talk about gaming, Rachel. Tell us first off, okay, what is it that you feel that you think is probably the best thing about the gaming industry right now, and also the worst thing about the gaming industry right now at this current moment?
The best and the worst are the same. I love the creativity, but then again, we are losing creativity right now. So the worst is the loss of creativity or the unwillingness to be creative because sequels sell. So like not a lot of developers want to start a new IP because it's not a sure sell like sequels always are. So it's both good and bad.
Do you ever think we'll ever get to a point, whether it's the nearby or the far future, that we'll ever get to start seeing, more original IPs or less sequels and more different new types of games we've never seen before?
I would hope so, but I mean, the industry is just going deeper and deeper into as simple gameplay as possible, as simple of a story as possible, and as casual as possible. I mean, we're now going to start having microtransactions in Xbox Live Arcade games, just like Facebook games, and I mean, that's the death of an industry. I think definitely. Our generation of gaming is definitely hitting an end soon, and we're going to be seeing a whole new generation soon. And I don't know if I'm that excited for it because with this blend of genres we're having now as well, like everything's got RPG, everything's an action type game. We're losing the things that keep each genre separate and so exciting. So everything's starting to blend together as just one big game.
So, kind of elaborate on that. What do you think it is, or why is it? What is kind of the cause of like pretty much all these different genres kind of blending in together, or we're kind of losing that creativity, or going into that microtransaction type of period, or that new era of gaming? What is, in your opinion, the cause of that, or what is the kind of like ground zero for that kind of occurrence?
It's because I think a lot of developers have realized how much money can be made by non gamers or non hardcore gamers. Like, if we make a super hardcore RPG like we've had, on the PC for years, if we make something like that now, they're only going to be selling it to the RPG fans. But if they make an RPG mixed with action and kind of smush it together, like Mass Effect 2 or Dragon Age 2, then you have a much broader audience, which is more money to these developers. And I just see a lot of developers now with dollar signs in their eyes instead of trying to make a creative IP, which is really depressing to me because I'm just not seeing much creativity anymore. It is a lot of stuff we've seen before. If you've been gaming since for a long time, this is stuff we've been seeing for quite some time.
Very true. So let me ask you this also, especially pertaining to this year in gaming, because this year it's I at least I feel a little bit, and I'm pretty sure a couple people out there feel it. This is kind of like the year of the first person shooter. Like we've got like a ton of first person shooters coming out. I know we're getting Duke Nukem pretty soon. We're getting Battlefield 3. We're getting hopefully Modern Warfare 3. We're getting all these I know SOCOM, even though that's a third person, but it's still a shooter. We're getting all these shooters that are coming out. What do you think that's the cause of that? Do you think it's maybe because, like you said, there's more dollar signs in the actual developers' eyes? Or what do you think else could actually be the cause of that?
Absolutely. It's the dollar signs because there are so many gamers out there that only will play the shooters and they're not playing it for story and they're not playing it for gameplay. They're just playing it to get on online and kill some people. And they don't care if it's a creative way to kill. I mean, you think about it, and all these games basically are the same. It's all capture the flag, it's all VIP style of multiplayer modes. And that's just another telltale of that creativity is dead because we don't need another modern warfare. We don't need another, black ops because they're all the same war games. Now when I see a commercial on TV for a war game and I can't pick out which game it is because it all looks the same, that's really disturbing to me. I mean, just think about just last generation of systems with like even the PS2. You look at the PS2's library and we had such a huge variety of different games, even the weirdest games ever, but they were really good. And now you look at today's systems and it's all kind of the same mixture of each other. Nothing really, there's not a big gap in between each type of game. It's all kind of just a blend. And when you blend things together, you lose taste. So that's just, at least my point of view. I'm not saying they're bad games, just I require a little bit more creativity than just another capture the flag mode.
Very true. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people feel the same way. With the whole kind of like rumors, and then also pretty soon, a lot of people are expecting come this E3 that Nintendo's going to launch a new or at least announce a new console, and then somewhere down the line, a year or two, Microsoft and Sony might do the same. Do you think with that new generation of consoles coming in, or maybe the generation afterwards, are we going to get much more kind of those definitive lines between the genres, or like you said, or is it just going to mash all together?
If things keep going the way they are now, they're all going to mash together. I mean, Microsoft and Sony, they're really not showing much creativity in any of their peripherals. I mean, Nintendo came out with a system that had motion control and it did really well. And Sony and Microsoft, like, we want to do it too. So they give us Kinect and they give us Move, which we'd already seen with iToy and Microsoft's Vision Cam, and those were all failures. And so they think that we're going to like Kinect and Move as well. No, I mean, I don't know many gamers that have been around this industry for long who really like Connect or Move. It's all people that think this is new technology. It's not. It's stuff we've seen in last generation. And I mean, even some of the older systems still played around with that type of technology. So it's really nothing new. And now everybody's trying to jump on the 3D bandwagon, and I could care less about 3D. Because when I play a game, I play for easily 8 hours. That's not 8 hours I want to have glasses on. And yeah, I just see a lot of gimmicks right now, and I'm not seeing anything that's really going to be like in 20 years from now. I don't see many games that are on systems right now that I'm going to say that game changed my life. Like I can say about games that are much, much older now.
You mentioned 3D, and you said like you don't like playing a game for like 8 hours. You have to wear glasses. But what about the 3DS? Because the 3DS obviously has gaming or has 3D gaming without the glasses. And even though it's still just launched and like there's games coming down the line, what do you think about that, and how do you think that's going to play out?
I have a 3DS and I love it, and it's never given me a problem. And the right reason I don't have a problem with the 3DS 3D is, yeah, because it doesn't have camera. I mean, it doesn't have glasses, but it's a handheld. So, handhelds, it's cool if it's 3D, but because I don't play handheld games for 8 hours plus. I mean, what system can handle that kind of battery play, anyways? But it's just the handhelds are kind of like a little casual type of gaming. Even for the hardcore gamers, we play handhelds very casually. And I think it works there. And I know a lot of people don't want to admit it, but Nintendo has been on top of their game with the Wii and with the DS. They've sold ridiculous amounts to hardcore and to casual gamers. So Nintendo's really been on like ahead of the game recently, but I just don't know how much longer they're going to be able to stay on top with technology and with their own creativity.
Speaking of Nintendo, obviously, like I said before, some of the rumblings have been about the Wii 2 being instead of now being a less casual system, a much more hardcore system, at least from what, some of the information's being leaked out about it. Do you think maybe that this is going to be, like what you said, Nintendo's been on top of their game? Maybe do you think that Nintendo's actually changing up their game plan, and now that they've kind of gotten the casual market, they're going to really kind of hit the hardcore market really hard, and people are just going to be blown away? Is that going to be much more of a success, or maybe is it going to get something like what the 3DS has been doing, like the 3D without the glasses? What do you think Nintendo is going to be up to?
I honestly don't even know what Nintendo's up to anymore, because it seems like with the Wii, I thought it was going to be terrible, and I kind of liked it. With the 3DS, I was like, I hate 3D. This is going to be stupid. And the first time I played it, I was like, it blew me away. So I have no idea what Nintendo has up their sleeves. But I, a lot of people said that Nintendo really forgot the hardcore audience. But when has Nintendo ever been about the hardcore audience? They've always been about family and about bringing people together. I mean, they've had the best party games on their systems ever. They've never been really about the quote unquote hardcore gamers. So I never really understood where that argument came from. Yes, they had some hardcore titles on it, and so does the Wii. So I really don't know what they have up their sleeves. We'll see. I'm just thinking it's probably just going to be an HD system, because that seems to be everybody's biggest problem with it, is it's not HD.
And also the online, possibly?
Yeah, But they didn't fix the little friends code issues with the 3DS. So I'm not really quite sure if they're gonna have like a PSN or an Xbox Live style online stuff with the Wii 2 or whatever they're calling it, Project Cafe. Because they haven't really shown any desire to change their online capabilities, which is lacking, yes. But I'm not a big online player. I think a single player game can be just as good, if not better, without multiplayer attached to it.
Well said. Very, very true. So now we're kind of winding down to kind of getting to the end of this actual interview and stuff. But let me ask you also for all your fans out there that want to know, tell us a little bit about what's in the nearby future for Raychul Moore. What are you going to be doing sometime soon, or even what are you going to be cosplaying as in the nearby future?
I will be hitting all the conventions this year. I've already got my passes for E3, Comic Con, and I'm most likely going to be hitting PAX. We'll see about that. I'm 95% sure that I'll be going to that as well. So everybody can see me there. I'll be doing a bunch of on-camera coverage like usual. For cosplay at Comic Con, I'm a little on the fence with a few different costumes. I want to do the alternate costume for Cammy, the pink one. I also want to do Baby Doll from Sucker Punch, both her regular costume and her white bedazzled special dance costume. And I've also had my eye on Gem from Tron. So we'll see. Whatever I don't do this year, I might just do next year. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what my costume this year will be.
So there you go, guys. If you guys want to see whichever one of those, either alternate Cammy, Babyface, or who's the other one from Tron? Who's the other one? Gem from Tron. Go ahead and go nuts in the comment section below. Just so that way everybody could see it. Maybe you can influence her decision. But anyway, going on from that, you say you're going to be hitting all the conventions more than likely and stuff. Which one do you think you're looking forward to the most?
For video games, E3, definitely. E3 is the thing of the year that I look forward to every year. As soon as E3 is over, I'm excited for the next one. But as far as more comics and artwork and cosplay, Comic-Con.
That's pretty cool. So anyway, guys, here's towards the end of the actual interview. Thanks a lot, Raychul, for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you. Had a lot of fun. Hope you had a great one. So anyway, guys, if you want to find out more about Raychul, her website and her Twitter will be in the description box below. Here's her website. Was it www.raychul.com, as well as @the_Raychul on Twitter, that you could follow her on there. Here's all her stuff. You guys could see it, as well as also her website. But anyway,
I sometimes give away free video games on Twitter too, only to my followers.
oh, there you go, guys. There's another reason to go to Twitter. Free games. But also, so that way I don't forget, also tell them about the Justin TV channel really, really quickly.
Yeah, Justin TV every Wednesday at 3 o'clock Pacific time. So that's 6 o'clock for Eastern, and I believe that's 11 o'clock in England. I do a live chat. It's just a Q&A. We just sit down and chat about games and anything else that comes to mind for about 2 hours. And I'm also going to be starting a chat every week on top of that, probably on Mondays, where I'm going to be streaming live gameplay while playing with you guys. But I don't exactly have a date or time for that just yet.
All right, sounds awesome. So anyway, guys, this is the end of the interview. Thanks again, Raychul, for coming on. I'll talk to you guys again soon. This has been the BITT, the boys and girls in the tube. Have a good one, everybody. From Raychul Moore and VenomousFatman, we'll talk to you all later.